the stream for a moment. But really, he's he's what is it again? A Simon Belmont main.
Yeah.
Not a Richter main.
Simon.
A Simon Belmont main.
Yeah.
Why? Because he just.
Like Simon.
I'm gonna be real with you. Like, he says that he's old. He doesn't look it, right?
Yeah.
But he's not old. But look, he's right there with the 4 Sophie tag. You know, his wife out here.
Yeah, yeah. Shout out to the married people.
Yeah.
I don't care anymore about these under 18 brackets. Everyone is good that's under 18. I care more about the guys that are in and out, making either Smash tournaments happening or living life with a wife and still making it work. So
give me a tournament that you have to present your pay stubs where you're working a full-time job to enter.
Show me a tax form real quick. I'm saying this like I'm not a kid, but you know, anyway. So this matchup, one that is probably the easiest as an FGC player because crack shoot is one of the most transcendent moves in the air, and Terry having a very strong air-to-air game, and most of the time zoners will pick to the air to avoid these situations. Of course, Kuro Dan very strong here. Reads the jump though is Andres with the charge rising tackle.
Rising tackle. That's how we say it here in Mexico.
Rising tackle.
Rising tackle. Rising tackle out here. The beefsteak tackle. But, you know, AndresFn is just really just Mr. Fortnite himself. Understands and knows how he has to play these type of matchups because he's very, he's experienced within players that throw out projectiles quite a lot, you know, bola, just constantly right here. But let's see how Kuro Dan fares. I'm going to be real with you. I really want to see Kuro Dan
at least take a game.
Yeah, at least take a game or go for something, but it seems like his burn knuckle is stronger than any holy water as he goes in and takes that stock with the side B.
Projectiles are going to be coming up as Kuro Dan just tries to create any semblance of control in this matchup. But Andres, like I said, Terry having probably the best burst range of any of the FGC characters is going to be very good at breaking the zones that Kuro Dan is setting up.
Yeah, just the overall, the wall of projectiles can't really contain the hungry wolf right here that is Terry, right?
Yeah.
Especially whenever he just goes in, grabs it, and says, you know what, I'm just trying to threaten you with the kill setup that you already know. But the thing is, right there, he goes in and drops on top of the platform, so unable to retaliate immediately. And I can assure you right now, I can bet you right now that if Kuro Dan is able to get one stock, the cloud is going to erupt. I can just bet you that right now. And it seems like he's going to be able to do that.
Oh, he barely avoids the cross.
Oh, that was crucial for him to be able to try to get that stock.
Gets the side B, the neutral B comes through. That's a big throw though. Back throw sends Belmont off stage. Oh, back air, high angled, wrong angle for Kuro.
Cautious, so Cautious goes in for the up B. Not going to punish it either.
Big punish. No! Drops the punish, Forto comes through. I want to see this stock so bad. Oh, there it is.
No!
Get a steal from Andres. Forto comes through, Belmont can't kill.
Oh, he's able to get it. Yes!
Yeah,
what did I tell you?
Yeah.
What did I tell you? The crowd erupts right there. And that is going to be the stock for Andres. And everybody just cheering him on and says, you know what, no problem at all. And look, the way that the tether functions is also quite interesting, I would dare say, because if Kuro Dan is skating towards the left side of Terry, Terry turns around immediately, even though he's under the stage. So that's kind of like an interesting thing, I would dare say. Goes in, double down tilt, rising tackle. And I was actually part of the discourse, right, a couple of days ago where there was, obviously it was a bait clip, right? Yeah. But people took it seriously of a Terry just whiffing every single one of the moves that he used against a crouching Kirby, right?
Yeah.
And there was actually a friend of mine, Shigo, he's from Mexico, but he was living in BC for a year, if I recall correctly. And he was like, oh my god, this matchup is terrible. I'm like, man, crouching Kirby can be such a pain to deal with. Yeah. If only there was a move that hit low and comboed into so many of the kill confirms, bro. Oh wait, he does.
And it's really good. That move is really good. Like there's a lot of moves in this game where it's like, oh, if you hit it, it leads into a combo or it leads into a kill, but it's not spammable. That move does everything. It's safe, it's spammable, you can space it out, it combos into things. It's the move you're going to be looking for as Andres, as he looks to take down Kuro Dan. You know, obviously, I try to be as non-biased as possible as a commentator, but it's hard not to root for Kuro Dan making this tournament happen. Of course, I mean Andres. I'm sure he doesn't need me cheering for him to
He has 50K subscribers that can
yeah, he has fans. You know, Kuro Dan underappreciated for sure.
Oh yeah, within the gameplay aspect, Kurodan is just one of the hype characters to actually see, right?
Yes.
He's very loved by the community, so we see a lot of instances where Kurodan just knows that he can play around with the crowd a little bit, just understands that, and it actually helps out for him to be able to get into his opponent's mind, right? As well. But we see the damage lead right here on behalf of Kurodan. AndresFn is actually struggling a little bit to find that barrier break that he was able to do within the projectile wall before within the previous game.
Yeah, so what you see here is like on a stage like Smashville, it forces a lot of linearity in your approaches.
Oh yeah.
You can't like land on someone because you can stand underneath the platform. And characters that have projectiles tend to want to cover at least one of the two ways to approach. And when there's a platform right above your head, it becomes very linear on the way you want to approach. And that's not what you want to see as Andres, especially as a character like Terry, who has burst, but it's very horizontal in the air burst. So Kurodan can find ways to swat you away, but you know, sometimes all it takes is one hit to lead into a what is that called? Buster Wolf?
Buster Wolf, yeah. So here in Mexico, we actually say it a little bit different, right? So you see that Terry says, "Are you okay?" Right?
Yeah.
So we normally say it within Spanish, we say "Estás bien."
Estás bien.
Estás bien.
Are you
But
okay?
here we ask "Estás bien."
Estás bien.
Estás bien.
Estás
Because
bien,
it's like,
and that's the Buster Wolf.
yeah, that's a Buster Wolf. ¿Estás bien?
Estás
Buster
bien?
Wolf. Órale.
Buster Wolf, yeah.
So yeah, here we see Andres really just a 210% already here. We know that Terry has a longevity, but this is ridiculous. Finally able to get that stock. Once again, the crowd erupts in emotion as we see Kurodan, one of the favorite players, just understand that the crowd is in his favor, and even though he may lose this set, he's going to be the champion in everyone's hearts.
Yeah. You know, you always root for the homie on the stream, and this is what Kurodan is here. Gets jab, rising tackle, not enough to take it quite yet. Oh, I like that down there into Holy Water. Is going to send Andres off stage now, has to get through the big projectiles, a full hop hairdo. They have a little bit of time, but the jab, rising tackle with the down charge. Not able to take it quite yet. 166%, that move must be very stale.
Yeah, like he's been using it quite a lot, to be honest, try to confirm everything into it, because he knows that jab power dunk isn't 100% reliable within some situations, especially if somebody has really good smash DI. So Kurodan with his experience, and yes, I am calling him old, he knows how to SDI quite a lot. So it seems like Andres has caught up on this and is just simply going for like the very safe options, going in right here, but he himself has a little bit of smash DI too.
We're seeing him get out of Holy Water very effectively, which is so important in this matchup. Holy Water is one of the best setup moves for Simon, as you see there, the down to up B and gets an up smash.
Oh!
Kurodan is up 2 stocks to 1. You see him talking in the cam, trying to hype himself up a little bit there.
He's doing it quite well too, and the thing is, not only is he hyping himself up, but the crowd is hyping him up a little bit as well. Goes in for the rising tackle, actually avoiding the Holy Water as well, exploiting it, I would dare say. And now we see exactly how Kurodan is running with the advantage right here. He says, you know what, you're the one that has to approach, but once Andres approaches only once, he knows that this Terry can be quite deadly, lethal, I would dare say. And not only that, even if Kurodan is able to get this game, we know for a fact that he has other fighting game characters within his arsenal. So it's not just a Terry bout. This could be just a whole pack of wolves waiting to be unleashed.
Oh, a very unfortunate down air is going to get punished before tilt into the crack shoot, as you see now. Kurodan has to get off the ledge, does eventually. The Holy Water as well. Forward tilts are going to be swinging very frequently for Kuro as he tries to build any space versus Andres. A forward smash to try to catch the landing on Andres. Doesn't find a connection. And a down air with a drag down nair. This is so scary for both players as they both look to find a way to take a stock. The up B gives go, and the crack shoot comes through to beat out that hitbox.
Looking to just find everything that he can, goes in for the
Oh, there it is.
He really just went out and power waved them in the air just to make sure that he does not come back. Andres knows that he had everything going for him, and that is actually a very safe option to do within that instance, specifically because a forward air sends you in a bit of an uncomfortable angle, like angled upwards towards the right. So it couldn't be like one of the go-to kill options sometimes, because it can leave him hanging right there and it leaves you very vulnerable within your recovery. So he just goes in, power waves him within the air, and that is going to be it for Kurodan. But we have the third game. Andres is up 2-0, but we see an improvement coming from Kurodan.
Yeah, big improvement. Looks like we are going to be going back to Smash Roll, which is obviously the stage that is preferred for the zoners. Andres goes for a kill immediately with that downer attempt. Starting off with a lot of aggression is Andres. Of course, being the rushdown character versus the zoner, you're gonna want to be in the face of Richter very often. One of the biggest problems with Richter is that I'm saying Richter, Simon. The problem with Simon is that doesn't have a get out of jail free defensive option. Doesn't really have a very fast scrap move. The best thing you have is up B, but obviously you up B and you miss it, and that's a big punish.
And the thing is, like, the fact that it leaves you in fastball can also be extremely exploitable from anybody that has just really like an understanding of how it's going to work. They can start baiting that out. They can start causing a lot of confusion in the regular game plan that one would dare say. Especially right here, look at how Andres is working that out. Barely able to avoid that Burnacle, but he goes in once again after shielding that down smash. And even though Kuran here within the left trying to make a recovery for himself, Andres is actually maneuvering quite well, I would dare say, around everything that Kuran is going after. Yeah, he's using that speed that Terry has in order within his favor quite a lot.
Yeah, you're seeing a lot of, I feel like cross is just so important in this matchup as a way to just cover a lot of horizontal space, force linearity. You see there, another holy water. Forward tilt comes through, the up air tries to catch, and the back air is going to punish the whiff with the forward air. Unfortunately, using the whiff in the air, you have to be relatively precise. I mean, it's not as big of a hitbox as you think. It's actually, like usually in Smash, the hitbox is a little bit more forgiving than the actual what it looks like, but for the whiff, it's actually really, really difficult to space it sometimes. And it's easy to whiff, has a lot of end lag, so be careful there. Goes for the forward tilt to the Buster Wolf and up B. 190%. The thing about using that move so often as a defensive option is it gets stale pretty fast, so you lose a lot of that kill power, and that is something that Richter or Simon is going to struggle with a lot. Is finding kill power. As another up B comes through at a 205%, doesn't find a kill. Let's trap opportunity with a cross and air dodge from Andres and no punish. And the down tilt nowhere near killing center stage. We rinse at the heat game that you play versus the Belmont. Terrible ledge trap, but finally the down B punishes the cross, and you're back on the ledge as Andres, and you start all over again. But a Buster Wolf goes all the way through that. Hey,
one opening.
Yeah, one opening is all it takes, and you get all the way through. Unfortunately, not putting out the right hitbox at the right time, and another up B doesn't kill. 235%. Please find a kill.
At this point, it's just begging, please take him out.
I think forward throw probably kills him, right? So like you have to. Okay,
oh, finally
at 235 before the hit, you can find a kill. Hey, Kuro Dan still in it. It's not quite over yet. It's a lot harder now because that up B took so long to kill.
Yeah, you don't want Terry living as much as Andres was able to live for this moment, right? And that's what makes it very a matchup that you struggle so much is that after 100%, you have to start killing Terry. Like, it's already difficult to kill Terry before 100% per se, and then you have to start dealing with him. And if your character can't kill, I would do like matchups like Sheik Terry. It's terrible for Sheik because Sheik can't really take care of Terry as fast as Terry can take care of Sheik, right?
Yeah.
So you see all these kills and things like that. But Kurulan is actually trying to bring this a bit back. He's able to do a lot of damage right here. 88%. Ooh, goes in, completely charges that up smash. And now just grabs and goes in for the up throw. Just going to try to place him off stage. No aerial. Actually goes in, try to go for the grab. A second grab that doesn't hit. The third one finally connects. Third time's a charm, but within the ledge. Now rolls are reversed, but Kurodan always has a projectile up his sleeve. Literally.
A lot of projectiles and a lot more for Kurodan if he can find this stock. Returning boomerang is going to come through and misses, or the rising tackle drops, but the back air is going to be able to take it. Andres taking it 3-0 over Kurodan. Big shout out to Kurodan once again. Great Simon player, but also the person in charge of all of the graphic assets you see on the stream. So big shout out to them, and big shout out to Andres, of course. It's all in good fun. We rooted for Kurodan, but Andres, an amazing player who's going to have no problems moving on the bracket without us cheering him on for that set. So good stuff to both players. And it looks like we're going to be getting one more set here.
Yeah.
I thought that was going to be our last one, but scheduling, of course. So we're going to be getting one more set.
One more.
Very excited for that. And yeah, overall, we've had some pretty cool sets so far. I'm really interested to see what's up next, though.
We started off really strong with Rox Mani, And then we like I mentioned, we had some people look at these dudes. Look at these dudes. What is he doing? What are they doing, bro?
I really like, so the English broadcast of this, we're actually in